So hello, my name is Julian Chow, and I'm the COO of Elite Prep. I'm so happy that you're here joining us today. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started. The title of today's talk is The Do's and Don'ts of U.S. College Admissions. In the first half, we're going to talk about some important parts of the college planning process. And in the second part, we're going to look over 7 profiles of students who were admitted to selective colleges this year from our class of 2025. So admittedly, getting into top colleges in the United States is hard. So we have schools like Harvard, Stanford, Yale, and Columbia with admissions rates of less than 4%. And then we have University of Chicago, MIT, Princeton with admissions rate of less than 5%, followed by Dartmouth, Brown, and University of Pennsylvania, all Ivy League schools with admissions rates of under 6%. And then Johns Hopkins with a 6.2%, followed by Cornell, Northwestern, and Rice. Each of them have a 7.5% admit rate. And even UCLA is getting super hard to get into. UCLA, as you all know, it's a large public university, but the admissions rate is only 8.7%. So the admissions to the United States colleges is really competitive, but you can also be successful with careful planning. Understanding what to do and what not to do can improve your chances of getting into your dream college. So tonight we're going to look at the 5 critical areas of college planning, which includes academic planning, standardized testing, extracurricular involvement, the college search process, as well as the application preparation process. Now, it's really important to understand that each of these areas are connected to one another. So what you love to study in school is going to be reflected in your standardized tests and connected to your extracurricular involvement. All of that information is going to lead you to find the college that's a right fit for you. And the last part is to prepare an application that's going to convey all of that information to the colleges. So the first part is the academic planning process. So the major do's when it comes to academic planning are to, first of all, take rigorous courses in school, okay, whether they be honors classes, AP classes, or IB classes, to demonstrate your ability to handle challenging materials. Now, college is hard, and so colleges want to be able to see that you're ready for that challenge. Okay. In addition, students should ideally take courses in the 5 core subjects of English, history, math, science, and foreign language, all throughout 4 years of high school. Okay. The reason being, regardless of what you study in college, you're likely going to have to take English, history, math, science, and foreign language in college. So students should take as many of these classes in high school to prepare for the rigors of college level work. Okay. And obviously, you have to have strong and consistent grades throughout all 4 years of high school. Okay. Now, taking a lot of AP classes is not easy. So students should be mindful to seek help early if they find themselves struggling. Okay. The key is to take challenging classes and do well on them. So here we have a sample 4-year plan in terms of high school coursework. So we have the classic 4x5 schedule, where students are taking 4 years of the 5 core subjects in history, English, math, science, and foreign language, progressing from regular and honors classes to more honors and AP classes, and pretty much all AP classes in the senior year. Okay. For the elective period, we suggest that students choose classes based on their interest. Okay. So for example, if a student is into computer science or coding, they should take computer science principles and computer science A. Students that are interested in, let's say, medicine and business should opt to take psychology and or statistics or both. Okay. So it's really important to show colleges that you are genuinely interested in what you're studying. So take courses that align with your college major or career interest. In addition, trying to participate in academic opportunities like summer programs, research, honors and AP classes at an online high school like Elite Open School, or dual enrollment classes at a local college. The point being to go beyond what's offered at your school to demonstrate a genuine love of learning of what you're interested in learning. Okay, and I'm going to come back to this theme of showing genuine interest time and time again throughout this presentation tonight. So what does it mean to show genuine interest? So I have some examples here. let's say a student that wants to study medicine will obviously take hard advanced level math and science courses. In addition, students should take data science and statistics because a lot of science and research deals with statistics. In addition, students should take psychology, as well as courses like career exploration in healthcare and dentistry, as well as courses like AP Seminar, where students learn to investigate a topic, synthesize information, and write a research paper. Okay. Students interested in engineering will obviously take math and science courses, data science, and statistics. Okay. In addition, students should take computer science, computer-aided design and drafting, and other engineering-related courses in school. Okay. And a close cousin of engineering is obviously computer science. So there will be a lot of overlap in terms of the courses. But students interested in computer science should also take classes like cybersecurity, web design, game design, and app design, classes where they get to apply their knowledge and skills to creating something. Okay. And last but not least, we have the business majors. And so students interested in business should take history, economics, and US government, as well as psychology and environmental science. A lot of businesses deal with environmental regulations, so that's a really good class to take. Additionally, students can also take accounting, finance, entrepreneurship, business law, and marketing. So a lot of some schools might have these classes, but a lot of schools don't. And so if your school does not offer these classes, you should look elsewhere, like Lead Open School. Okay. In terms of the major don'ts, students should avoid selecting easier classes solely to increase your GPA. Okay, if you take a regular class and get straight A's, you're only showing colleges that you're able to do well at the high school level. Okay, there's no indication of how successful you'll be at the college level. Okay, so colleges value academic rigor in addition to high grades. Okay, keep in mind, admissions officers will also have your school profile, which is a document that your high school counselor is going to submit to the colleges, in which the school will be listing all the honors and AP classes your school offers. And when the colleges review your application and they don't see a lot of those honors AP classes, it's going to hurt your chances of getting in. Okay. That said, students should avoid overloading their schedules to the point of burnout and being stressed all the time. Okay. So academic rigor and strong grades should be balanced with your mental health and emotional well-being. Okay. And lastly, but not least, it's worth repeating, don't wait to address academic struggles. Okay, seek tutoring or extra help from teachers, extra outside tutors, or is a student that's doing well in the class at school. Okay, I frequently tell students it's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. It's a sign of weakness when you need help, but you don't ask. So I've mentioned Lead Open School a couple of times. So Lead Prep partners with Lead Open School to bring a comprehensive list of honors and AP classes to our students. So Lead Open School is a WASP accredited online school that offers classes that are accepted by all colleges and universities in the United States. And as you can see here, Lead Open School is highly ranked in America. Okay. So why should students take additional honors and AP classes at Lead Open School? Well, it's more than just taking an extra class and improving your GPA, which are really important. But again, it's really to show your genuine interest in whatever it is that you want to learn. Okay. Lead Open School offers many classes that are not offered at high schools. For example, cybersecurity, accounting, finance, and AP Seminar and Research. Lead Open School also offers classes during the summertime, so students can complete honors and AP classes during the summer, okay, and open up more space in the school year. Okay. Lead Open School also offers career and technical education certifications, which is basically completing 3 related courses in a particular area of study. Okay. So the CT certificates, in terms of pathways, wanted to quickly introduce that to you. So CT pathways at Lead Open School include pre-medicine, business administration, data science, psychology, dentistry, finance, entrepreneurship, esports management, and design and media arts. And the way that this works is that students would take 3 classes, one after the other, to complete each of these pathways. So for example, students that are interested in pre-medicine could take career exploration in healthcare, followed by principles of health science and AP biology. Okay. Students interested in business administration could take principles of business, marketing, and finance, followed by introduction to business and technology, followed by human resources principles, okay, and so on and so forth. And you'll see that some of these classes do overlap across different pathways. So it's possible for students to complete several or multiple pathways. And additional pathways include engineering technology, software systems development, web development, information technology, cybersecurity, game design, architecture, and machines and artificial intelligence, which is a hot topic or area for students these days. And these are the three classes that students would take in each of these pathways. So again, as you can see, some of these classes do overlap, and it's very possible for students to achieve multiple career pathways at Lead Open School. Okay. So how much will your GPA increase by taking additional classes? So we're going to take a look at how the GPA is calculated for a student that's in high school. And so the information that we see here is how the University of California calculates a GPA. And as some of you might know, the UC system looks at grades from 10th and 11th grade. So this student has just finished 11th grade and has done fairly well with getting mostly A's in school and a couple B's. And by the end of the 11th grade, we'll have taken 4 AP classes. That calculates out to a 4.1 weighted GPA. Okay, so not bad. But by taking additional AP class at Lead Open School, they'll see their GPA boosted and improved. So by taking one AP class, the GPA will increase to 4.18. 2 AP classes will increase to 4.25. 3 AP classes of 4.31. And then 4 AP classes, that'll improve it to a 4.36. And that 4.36 certainly looks a lot better than the 4.1. So that's one of the benefits of taking additional classes outside of high school. And so when it comes time for students to apply for college, the way that this works is they'll send the transcript from the high school, and also they send the transcript from the Lead Open School to the college that they're applying to. And at the college, they're going to take a look at all the courses taken and grades received in the application review process. And so the next part of the college planning process is test preparation for the SAT and ACT. So as many of you have heard, there are many colleges that are now requiring the SAT and ACT again. So these are some of the more selective schools that have gone back and required standardized tests. So many of these schools are represented in terms of the Ivy Leagues. We have Brown, Cornell, Dartmouth, Harvard, Penn, and Yale. We also have the STEM schools like Caltech, Georgia Tech, MIT, to some extent Purdue. Okay, have schools like Georgetown, Johns Hopkins, and Stanford, as well as state universities in the states of Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas. Okay, so a lot of schools are requiring standardized tests again. And we're hearing that the UC is looking into bringing back the SAT as well. So the UC Academic Senate, which is comprised of faculty members from the various campuses, they meet once a month. And in the Board of Admissions and Relations with School, which is a sub-component of the Academic Senate, they meet and discuss admissions policies, and members schools will provide updates about what's going on at the individual campuses. So you can see back in October 2024, UC Berkeley reported that they formed a subcommittee to look at potentially requiring standardized tests again in light of other universities reintroducing them. Okay. And UCLA, as you can see further down, it says there is also interest in standardized tests. So that was back in October 2024. In December 2024, the board met again, and they did a full discussion about standardized tests. And as you can see here, the chair asked members about their views of restoring standardized tests for UC admissions, as has been done at many universities. Okay. And underneath a highlighted portion, you can see that faculty have concerns about student preparation and think these tests offer a better understanding of who is being admitted and their preparation, especially in light of grade inflation. Okay. And in the discussion part, you can see UC Berkeley has a task force that will look at the standardized test issue. Okay, so this was back in December. And just last month, on April 4th, UC Davis announced that they are looking at standardized tests and whether they should be required for admissions. Okay. And UC Berkeley reiterated that their committee is serving faculty about standardized tests. So we'll see how this plays out. But as you can see, the faculty at several of the campuses are interested in looking at this issue. Okay, so for the younger students out there, maybe 9th and 10th grade, don't be too surprised if you have to take standardized tests even for the UCs. Okay. So for college admissions, standardized tests are basically the SAT and ACT, so I wanted to quickly go over and compare the two tests. So the SAT underwent a change last year, and it's a fully digital online test that students will take on a computer or a Chromebook connected to the internet. There are two sections, the reading and writing and math. The test is adaptive. What that means is that each section has two modules, and how students do on the first module will determine whether they get a harder section in the second module or an easier section. There are a total of 98 questions that students have 2 hours and 14 minutes to complete. Okay. Each section score is 800 points for a point total of 1,600 points. The ACT is also undergoing some change, and starting in September 2025, the ACT will be offered in the digital online version, as well as a paper test, okay, which is what students are taking right now. Okay, so students will have a choice between the digital test or the paper-based test. Okay, currently the ACT has 4 sections: English, math, reading, and science. The new version of the ACT, starting in September, will be comprised of 3 required sections: English, math, and reading. And the current section for science will be optional going forward. Okay, the test is non-adaptive, meaning regardless of your ability or the format, digital versus paper, everybody is going to take the same test or have the same questions. The total number of questions will be 131. For students that are opting to take that science test, there will be additional 40 questions. And the total time for the ACT will be 2 hours and 5 minutes. For students that are taking the optional science test, there will be additional 40 minutes added on. The composite score for the ACT is 36, and each section score will be 36. So basically, the ACT composite score is the average of the subscores. So in terms of test preparation, the major things that students should be doing would be to start preparing in 10th or 11th grade to allow for multiple attempts. Not everybody gets the best score the first time, so taking it again is perfectly fine and normal and perhaps expected. Typically, students will take the test maybe 2 or 3 times, okay, and that's perfectly fine. When it comes to applying for college will basically use your best score, regardless of how many times you've taken the test. Okay. Initially, students should take a diagnostic test to decide which exam is better for them, ACT or SAT. So obviously contact your local lead prep office to schedule a free diagnostic test and a follow-up conference. Okay. Students should use a variety of prep materials, including official practice tests, study guides, and online platforms. Okay. For students that need more structure and guidance, should look into tutoring and or test prep classes. So when it comes to preparation, students should work on time management and content mastery by focusing on their weaker areas. Okay, and they should do that by taking full-length practice tests under time conditions. Okay, because these are time tests, it's really important for students to take tests under time conditions. Okay, so at Lead Prep, we're going to offer summer SAT prep programs where students are able to take 8 full-length digital practice tests, and they'll be studying 39 math lessons, as well as 20 reading and writing lessons, and work through over 1,500 additional practice problems. Okay? So classes are going to be starting pretty soon, in a couple of weeks. Okay. And finally, students should plan to take the official test at least twice with time to review and improve in between attempts. Okay. So students who take the test back-to-back probably won't see much improvement because they don't have the time to study and strengthen the parts that they're weaker at. So this is a sample test plan for high school students. So typically in ninth grade, students typically don't take the SAT or ACT. Instead, they might take AP exams if they're in AP classes. Okay. In 10th grade, in the fall, students might be able to take a PSAT 10 at school if it's available. And in the springtime, they would take any AP classes, any AP exams for the AP classes that they're enrolled in. Okay, so 11th grade is when most students will take the SAT and ACT. So that starts in the summertime when students prepare. And typically students will take the test for the first time in the fall, along with their PSAT at school. And if they get their score that they want, they're done. If not, they can take the test again in the springtime, followed by their AP exams in May. And in senior year, students can still take the SAT and ACT as they apply for college. Okay, the SAT is offered 7 times in the school year, and the ACT is offered 6 times. There are plenty of opportunities for students to take the test, and it's perfectly fine and on time for students to take the test one last time in the senior year before they apply for college. Okay, and they'll round out their testing with their final AP exams as they graduate. So the major don'ts when it comes to test preparation: do not procrastinate preparing for SAT and ACT, and don't try to cram at the last minute. These tests do not involve memorizing information. Rather, it's about developing knowledge and applying that knowledge through reasoning and problem-solving skills. So those are not things that you could simply cram at the last minute. Okay, and also we advise students to avoid comparing your scores to those of your peers. Okay, progress matters more than perfection. The truth of the matter is you don't need a perfect score to get into the best colleges. Okay, and even a perfect score is not going to guarantee that you're going to get in. Okay, what matters is that you try to do your best. Okay, also don't retake the test multiple times without a clear plan for improvement. Okay, and obviously don't forget important test registration deadlines. The College Board just announced that they open up the test registration for the 2025-26 school year. So for juniors out there that might be looking at taking the SAT, start looking into signing up. Now, a lot of schools do have test and optional policies, and what that means is that students can choose to take the test or not, and students can choose to submit their test score or not, based on whether they feel like it's going to help their application. Okay, so obviously submit test scores only if they enhance your application. Okay, and so our advice is that if students are scoring above the 25th percentile for admitted students, they should consider submitting those scores. Okay, now the 25th percentile might seem low. Okay, but bear in mind the students did get in with those scores. Okay, so it should be fine for you to submit them. Okay, at the same time, don't assume that test scores are not important just because test scores are optional at this college that you're applying to. Okay, if you think about it, if the test scores are not important, why would colleges even consider them, right? Because the colleges do consider them, it indicates that they are important for colleges. Okay, and also many colleges do require scores again, and students who apply to those colleges that are requiring test scores will also apply to schools that are test optional. So students that don't have test scores might be at a disadvantage. So to kind of put in a more concrete context as far as how this all works, we're going to look at the score composite percentiles for 2 test optional schools that are currently test optional, including University of Southern California, USC, and Princeton. So as you can see, the 25th percentile score for USC is a 1450, and the 50th percentile score is a 1490. So scores that are at or above that 25th percentile score should be okay to submit. Okay, whereas a school like Princeton, that 25th percentile score is a 1510. And the 50th percentile score is a 1540. So that score for USC, 1450, might be good enough, but for Princeton would not be good enough. So 1450 could be submitted for USC, but not for Princeton. The next key area is extracurricular activities, and we get a lot of questions about this. But what it boils down to in terms of extracurricular activities is to showcase your talents, your leadership skills, and your community impact. Okay, so extracurricular activities encompass a lot of different activities, including student government, academic and non-academic clubs such as French club or maybe anime club, engineering and computing projects, school newspaper and yearbook staff, art, music, drama, dance, and choir. Okay, school and club sports as well as martial arts, cultural, ethnic, religious organizations, researching with a professor, internships at a company or nonprofit, as well as hosting a podcast, writing a blog, volunteering in the community, and holding down a part-time job. Okay, now for this, the extracurricular activities to have maximum effect and impact, it's really about combining those activities with leadership roles and accomplishments and awards. So the major dues of extracurricular activities: get deeply involved in activities that genuinely interest you and stick with them. Okay, colleges want to see sustained impact and commitment over time that shows passion and dedication. Okay, colleges also want to see if you're going to be continuing these activities in college. On the Common Application, which is used by over 1,000 colleges these days, they will ask you if you plan to continue your activities in college. So indicating that you do plan to continue is really important. Okay. In addition, connect your extracurricular activities to your intellectual interest. So if you want to study computer science and do coding, you should do coding projects. If you want to study engineering, well, you should do engineering projects, right? And also take on leadership roles and seek opportunities to make a positive impact in the club, team, group, or organization that you're in. Additionally, want to showcase your talents in whether it's in areas of music, science, art, or debate by competing in competitions or performing at school and beyond. Okay, and also look for meaningful ways to contribute to your school or community through service and advocacy. Okay, that means engage in community service projects where you can make tangible impact and affect the lives of people in a positive way. Okay, and lastly, think about and reflect on the impact of your involvement and how it has shaped you. Okay, whatever you do should be meaningful. Okay, and that means it should shape and kind of influence how you see the world and your relationship with other people around you. Okay, and this information is really great for college admission, college essays. So, wanted to show you some competitions in different areas that students are studying or interested in studying. So areas such as biology, chemistry, math, physics, computer science, and engineering. First level kind of introductory competitions are great for students to get involved with and compete at and win. Okay. The second level or the ultimate level would be at the international level or highly selective and rigorous competitions. Other areas would be business, history, public policy, and law, as well as music. Kind of like the first level for exploratory and skills building, okay, in each of these different areas. Yeah, again, great for exploration and personal development, and also for college applications, okay. And the next level of competitions would be the left column, the right column there. Okay. Now, obviously, you don't need to write all this information down, but I do want to emphasize that whatever you're interested in doing, whatever you're interested in studying, there's typically going to be a competition for you to participate in. And so at Elite Open School and at Elite Prep, we offer many different extracurricular programs this summer, from photography to business case competition, to intellectual colloquium, where students are going to be reading challenging works pulled from college reading lists and writing analytical essays that they can submit to writing competitions. Okay. We'll also have a speech and debate competition program, math competition program, and introduction to research, where students learn how to do research and about the research process. And finally, developing their own research proposal that they could submit to research competitions as well. Okay. So in terms of things to avoid doing when it comes to extracurricular activities, uh, do not join every club just to pad your resume. Colleges prefer quality over quantity. Okay. If you're doing a lot of things and that's all you're showing, well, you're not going to show a lot because there's not necessarily going to be any meaning or reason to what you're doing. Okay. Also avoid superficial involvement. Okay. So instead of doing short-term minimal engagement, you want to sustain your involvement over a longer term of time. Okay. Also avoid overcommitting to so many activities that start to hurt your grades or you're stressed all the time. So I wanted to kind of show you a comparison of two students. So we have student number one, who plays a violin in the school orchestra, is a member of the school tennis team, has joined 10 different clubs, and volunteered with 10 different organizations, spending 5 hours each, 50 hours total. Okay, so this student looks like he's done a lot. Okay, and he has, but in the end, it's just a lot of different activities without any connection. Okay, whereas student number two is a concertmaster of the Regional Youth Symphony Orchestra. So captain of the soccer team that's gone to the state championship. Is also a champion of national speech and debate competitions. Okay, so three key activities. Okay. Additionally, the student volunteers to coach the middle school speech program, something very near and dear to her heart, and also has started a nonprofit organization collecting used soccer shoes to donate to children from low-income families. Again, connecting it back to her soccer activities. So in this situation, between the two students, now who is going to continue their activities in college? It's pretty clear that it's going to be student number two. And that's how colleges will see the activities list when students apply for college. Okay. Now, the next area we want to talk about is the college search process. And so it's really important to conduct a thoughtful college search. Okay. So students should begin their college search early, ideally in their sophomore or junior year. Don't wait until your senior year to do this. Okay. There are a lot of variety of factors to consider. The main one being academic programs, obviously. You're going to college for education, of course. Okay, so you want to look at majors, research, and internships. Okay, so it's not just what you want to study, but also thinking about how you want to study it. Okay, additional factors would include campus culture, location, the environment off campus, whether it's going to be near a urban city or maybe a suburban environment. Okay, the size, diversity, and support services. Okay. You also want to look at into the financial aid and college scholarship opportunities that the college can offer. Okay, especially for students that are looking to go to additional schooling after college, whether it's med school, law school, business school. Okay, if you're going to attend any of these professional schools or grad schools, it's going to add another 2 to 3 years of schooling after college, and another 3 to 3 years of tuition monies that your family has to save for and spend. So I wanted to take you through a few comparison pictures in terms of different college environments. So on the left hand, we have a large public university like UCLA, okay, where students are basically sitting in big lecture halls filled with 300 to 400 students. Okay, now it's a public university with research facilities, so you can participate in cutting edge research. But those three folks that are looking at you and smiling, those are the graduate students. Okay, and the undergrad is that person in the back cleaning the lab equipment, right? But hey, you're participating in cutting edge research. Okay, on the right hand, we have a small school environment, what we call the private liberal arts colleges, where students literally gather around the table and learn from the professor. And that professor might be teaching the same exact course as the one that's being taught at UCLA on the left hand there. Okay, but the way of teaching and the way of learning is very different. So that discussion-based learning extends to group projects in a more collaborative environment. So the question is, for students out there, which do you prefer? Okay, to a large public university where you can do research, or a smaller environment where you can build really strong relationships with professors and other students. Okay. And to extend this comparison, we have UCLA, which is a large, which is on a large campus in a large urban environment. And we have a School like Amherst College in Western Massachusetts, a small college surrounded by a lot of greenery, where you can experience all four seasons. Okay, so again, think about which environment do you think you'll be happier at. Okay. So with over 2,000 four-year colleges in America, there's a lot to look into and a lot to research. So the way to do research is to attend college fairs, information sessions, and or virtual and in-person tours. I also want to connect with admissions representatives or students to get firsthand insights about how those colleges work. Okay, what we tell students is to start locally and visit colleges nearby your house, nearby your home, right? Whether it's a large university or a small college, whether it's a private school or a larger public university. Okay, after you get a sense of what feels like home, what type of environments aligns with your interests and learning style, then you want to venture a little bit further away from home and look for other colleges that are similar to the ones that you like. And so typically you should want to do that during your summer break or spring break time. Okay. And ultimately, you want to create a balanced list of colleges that include some REIT schools, some math schools, and some safety schools. Okay. Typically, we tell students to compose a list of 8 to 12 colleges, and that's typically enough for most students. Okay. But for students that are applying to impacted majors like engineering and computer science, should definitely consider adding a couple more schools to that list because impacted majors, the acceptance rates is much lower than non-impacted majors. So for example, like a school like UC Berkeley, which has an outstanding engineering and computer science program, the overall admissions rate is around 12 to 15%, but the engineering program, the admissions rate drops to 7%. Okay. So in terms of reach, match, and safety, this is how you want to kind of look at or understand where these schools might fall. So a reach school is where your academic profile, which includes your GPA and your test score, is well below average for admitted students. Okay, so therefore below that 25th percentile. Okay, or where the overall acceptance rate falls below 10%, which means it's difficult for everybody trying to get in there. Okay, a math school is where your academic profile falls solidly within the range of admitted students, so roughly around that 50 percentile range. Okay. And a safety school is where your academic profile is well above average for admitted students, so 75 percentile and above. Okay. Now, all these schools should be good schools and good fits for you. So a safety school is not just a quote unquote backup. Okay. A safety school you apply to would be one that you still really, really want to go to. Okay. In terms of the things to avoid doing when it comes to college search, okay, don't simply rely on college rankings, brand name, or prestige when choosing college. Okay, what's more important is to make sure that these colleges align with your academic interests, career goals, and your personal preferences. Okay, also don't overlook lesser-known colleges or ignore out-of-state or private institutions. Okay, they might actually offer more generous aid than your in-state public university and or they might also offer stronger programs that fit your college and career interests. Okay, and also kind of a pro tip when it comes to scholarships. Okay, you'll typically receive more scholarship offers from those safety schools where your profile is way above the average for admitted students, right? Because they're trying to attract you, so they're going to offer you scholarships more often than not. And so the last area would be the college application and essay preparation process. Okay, so when it comes to college applications and essays, students should definitely start early to avoid last minute stress. They should create a calendar with key deadlines and required materials so they know exactly what they need to submit and when they need to submit them. Students should also consider applying to colleges under its early decision or early active plan if you are competitive for and committed to attending that college. Okay. Many colleges also require letters of recommendation from teachers and counselors. So make sure to request those letters well in advance and provide helpful context for your recommenders, whether it be to provide a resume or to fill out a survey that the teacher has you fill out. Okay. And for the juniors out there in the audience, you should ask your AP level teachers from this year before the end of the school year. okay, so that they can put you on the list. There are a lot of teachers that are very popular, and they might have a limit to the number of students that they're going to be writing letters for. So you may want to make sure that your name is on that list. Okay. Lastly, participate in college interviews if offered the chance to do so. College wants to get to know you better, and the college interview is one of the key ways for them to do so. Okay. Now, if you're hesitant or shy, college interviews are something that you can prepare for. And so you can get all the nervousness out of your system. Wanted to kind of discuss the benefit of applying early decision to college. Okay, so we have some well-known and selective institutions: Boston University, Brown, Cornell, Dartmouth, Duke, Northwestern, and University of Pennsylvania. So you can see the admissions rate, they're all pretty low, under 10%. Okay. But you can also see for the students that apply early decision, the admissions rate is double or triple the regular admissions decision rate. Okay, so for example, Boston University's regular decision admissions rate is 9.4%, but their early decision admissions rate increases to 26%. Brown, 4% regular decision, triples up to 13% for early decision. Okay, and so on and so forth. So you can see the benefit of applying early decision. Okay, so it's not only easier to get in, relatively speaking, if you apply early. The students who apply and get in early make up about 50% of the entering class. Okay, so that means the students that are applying regular are fighting for spots in the remaining 50%. Okay, which is why, again, the regular decision rate is so low. And when it comes to the college application essay, okay, be sure to share a unique story, perspective, or experience that reflects your values, growth, or aspiration. Okay, something that's not obvious from the other parts of the application that they've already read. Okay, when we tell students to answer the why question. Okay, why did you do this, or why did you avoid doing that? Okay, why is this topic or issue or activity important to you? Okay, and remember that the personal essay is sent to all colleges you apply to, so you're not going to individualize it to any particular college. Okay, that individualization will be done through the supplemental essays that many colleges have. Okay, these essay topics will be provided by those specific colleges. And this is the place where you show why you're a good fit for that college and why that college is a great fit for you. So this is the so-called why us essay. You want to show why you're a good fit for each other. Okay. Some of these essays will also talk about their college values, whether it's diversity or curiosity or integrity. And they're going to ask you how you've demonstrated these values in your own life. Okay. And obviously, you want to take time to write and revise your essays thoroughly and seek feedback from teachers, counselors, and mentors. Okay. The major don'ts when it comes to college essays is to avoid simply listing all your accomplishments. Again, they already have that information. Okay. Instead, you should focus on your personal insights and reflection, going deeper into your personal growth and motivation. Okay. It's also important to remember to not try to impress admissions officers and write what you think they want to hear. That's not really the purpose of the personal statement. The personal statement is personal. Okay, so authenticity is key, and you want to focus on the why questions and let them kind of get into your head a little bit and see the world from your perspective. Okay, another major don't is to not apply to too many colleges. Okay, when you have to write that 15th, 16th, or 17th essay, the quality of your essays will start to suffer over time. And avoid submitting college applications at the last minute. Technical issues and rush writing will certainly hurt your chances of getting in. Okay, so in summary, the college admissions process is not just about getting into a good school. Okay, that's obvious, but it's more about finding schools that are good for you. Okay, schools where you can have the opportunity to grow into the person you want to become. Okay, so that covers the first part of the webinar. We're going to dive into 7 successful college accepted student profiles from our class of 2025. Okay, so the first student we're going to look at wants to study physics and was accepted to Brown under early decision. Okay, and as you can see here, the courses are very challenging over time, and the student obviously got really good grades in all of his or her classes. Okay, and for a student that wants to study physics, you can see how the coursework is supported by the numerous advanced level science courses. Okay. And when it comes to test scores, you can see strong SAT and AP exam scores, all 5s in 10 AP exams. Okay. When it comes to extracurricular activities, this student wants to study physics, so you can see a clear demonstration of that interest through physics research with a professor and participation in physics competitions. Okay. The student is also talented in multiple ways, including music and multiple world languages. Okay. Student has also demonstrated strong leadership skills in school clubs and community organizations. Okay, so a student like this would be a really good fit for a school like Brown, where they allow students who to combine multiple interests that they have in their open curriculum. Next student also wants to study physics, and this student was admitted to UC Berkeley. As you can see, coursework is pretty strong. Grades are decent, although there's a fair number of Bs. Okay. In terms of coursework, student has a lot of science classes, advanced level science classes, and you can also see that student took multiple courses outside of school. And in fact, this student took a lot of these classes at Elite Open School during the summertime. Exam scores are pretty good. Again, UCs do not look at SAT scores. Okay, so there's that. And then the AP exam scores, fairly good. But the strength of the student is the number of advanced level courses that they took outside of school connected to the interest in physics. In addition, students participated in Cyber Patriots, which is a cybersecurity competition, as well as participated in numerous summer camps in cybersecurity. So clear demonstration of their interest. Now, the third student wants to study bioengineering and was accepted to Stanford under their restrictive early action program, as well as multiple UC campuses. Okay. This student did not get straight A's, but overall, a good GPA and progress over time, which is a key thing that colleges look at. And certainly a student that wants to study bioengineering will have a lot of advanced math and science courses. Test score-wise, very strong ACT score, and coupled with very strong AP exam scores. When it comes to extracurricular activities, this student showed a clear interest in bioengineering, having performed research at UC San Diego, as well as research at an eye institute, okay, for multiple years. The student also founded a nonprofit organization to provide eye care screening to the community, okay, again, across multiple years. Okay, so and again, a clear demonstration of the student's interest, and the college could see that very, very clearly, pun intended. Next student wants to study electrical engineering, admitted to MIT, Princeton, Duke, Georgia Tech, and so on and so forth. We don't have the grades listed here, the course listed here, but you can see the grades are very, very strong. And for a student that got into all these schools for engineering, you would imagine that this student took the most challenging classes at the school. When it comes to test scores, SAT score of 1560, near perfect ACT score, and a composite score of 36. AP exams, strong there. And in terms of extracurricular activities, student has a very strong demonstration of interest in science, computer science, and engineering, having participated in multiple camps and research projects over the summertime, starting out with the UC Cosmos STEM program in 10th grade, followed by the MIT BeaverWorks Summer Institute in the 11th grade, followed by research at UC San Diego for 2 years. Okay, that MIT Beaver works. It's worth their uh, it's good to note that it's a very selective program where students have to do a project that they submit to the program officials for them to review in order to get into that summer camp. Okay. Additionally, student is very talented as a musician as well as a figure skater. Okay. So again, the theme again is it's demonstrated interest in what you want to study in college. Okay. Next student wants to study neuroscience. The student got into all the UCs and will be attending UCLA. Okay. And as you can see, very strong grades as well as coursework, especially in math and sciences. Strong AP exam scores, and a strong demonstration of interest in healthcare, both academically and in terms of her extracurricular activities, with a blend of research, hospital volunteer work, and especially work with Alzheimer patients. Okay, and so the students did multiple research programs at UCLA, over 190 hours in terms of volunteering work at the hospital, at the Kaiser, as well as Senior Sinai, and volunteered in the health as a health volunteer at LA Health, working with Alzheimer patients again. Okay, so again, a clear demonstration of her interests. Okay, next student wants to study psychology, got into Stanford, Columbia, UPenn, Cornell, USC, and so on and so forth. Okay, in terms of the grades, excellent overall. Coursework strong throughout her high school years. Okay, and you can see in terms of the science coursework, this student wants to study psychology, but I'm imagining that the student who took biology, chemistry, and physics is probably leaning towards pre-medicine. And you can see that demonstrated in the student's extracurricular activities. Okay, as well as their test scores. So perfect score on the ACT, coupled with very strong AP exam scores overall. Okay. When it comes to extracurricular activities, the student co-founded a wellness center for which she received her gold award from Girl Scouts, as well as the Congressional Award from the United States Congress. Okay. The student also co-founded a project with the school district focusing on youth needs in the community. Okay, and there the student was awarded the Congressional Award as well as a presidential award. Okay, student also participated in numerous summer research programs at the Science Research Academy, secondary student training program and at Columbia University. Okay, so again, very interconnected activities between science and doing good for others in the community. And lastly, we have the student that wants to study political science, got into Harvard, Yale, Dartmouth, Brown, Cornell, okay, amongst other schools. Yeah, again, strong classes overall and strong but not perfect grades, but certainly strong enough to get into all these colleges. Test score wise, a 1570 on the SAT, coupled with good scores on the AP exams. Okay, in terms of extracurricular activities, the student that wants to study political science, okay, developed an app called Parley, where people can debate and disagree with another in a safe and online platform. Okay, the student is also an intern at the Institute for Youth in Policy, the team captain of the school speech and debate team. Okay, also a member of the Student Leadership Council, the National Speech and Debate Association, and to round things out is the student body vice president at his school. Okay, so again, a clearly demonstrated interest in what they want to pursue in college. Okay, so want to let you know that at LEAP Prep, we have exciting programs to guide students to their college and career goals, whether it be in mechanical engineering or software development. Okay, from grades to additional classes in our partnership with Lead Open School, test preparation, CT pathways, again, with Lead Open School. We have extracurricular programs that align with students' interests, and we can also help students apply for and achieve the congressional award. Some other samples for students that are interested in becoming a tech entrepreneur. So combining technology with business or medicine. And again, improving the GPA, taking additional AP and honors classes, getting excellent scores on the SAT and ACT, CT certificates. We have business case competition for the business-minded students, and we have the lead research proposal program for students that are thinking about studying in the sciences. So this is a kind of a roadmap of the different paths that many of our students follow and the things that we could do to help them get to where they want to get to and become the type of person they want to become. Okay. So we have honors AP classes along with those CT pathways, standardized test preparation programs in the summertime and in the school year, extracurricular programs and courses in different strands and interests. And also we help students apply for and achieve the congressional award, which may be done as quick as a few months to over a couple years time. Okay. And so the congressional award might be something that's new to you, but it's something that's been around for decades. And the highest level that students can achieve is the gold medal, which takes at least 2 years to achieve. And the students who achieve the gold medal, they're invited to the United States Congress once a year for this medal presentation ceremony. Okay, and you can see there that's one cohort from 1 year's time. Okay, so a very selective group, and something that really truly helps students stand out when it comes to college applications. Okay. So to kind of summarize, our main program services include 4-credit classes that align with students' interest, test preparation throughout the school year, including the summer, fall, winter, and spring. Okay. And we have college planning services for the younger students and college application students for rising seniors. Okay. So the multi-year college consulting program for younger students from grades 8 through 11th includes planning their course year, 4-year coursework throughout high school, customizing their test plan, whether it's SAT or ACT, brainstorming and planning their extracurricular involvement, and creating a well-balanced college list, advisement about securing outstanding recommendation letters. There are many summer programs that require recommendation letters, so it's not just something for college applications. Okay, and engaging students on planning for and achieving the congressional award, as well as the President's Volunteer Service Award. And for rising seniors, we have the UC application program, as well as common application for students that are looking at applying to private schools. Okay. In addition, we have some wonderful resources that we provide to students from our college planning guide, which is a 32-page college planner with chock full of information and forms for students to plan out their college planning process, as well as a college list builder. Okay. Additional resources and publications would be 24 extracurricular profiles. Okay. It's a guide and kind of a roadmap for students to think about the types of different extracurricular activities that students could do, depending on what their goal is in terms of their interests. Okay. We also have vocabulary word publications, as well as a guide to the 8 college system at UC San Diego, which is a kind of a semi-complicated process in terms of understanding how the college system at UC San Diego works. So to wrap up, wanted to repeat that only at Elite can students raise their SAT scores with proven top-tier test preparation by taking 8 full-length digital practice tests created by Elite. Okay. We also provide one-on-one and small group tutoring with continuous feedback to students and parents. Okay. Students can enroll in 4-credit honors AP classes throughout the school year, as well as in the summertime, to demonstrate their intellectual interest that align with their college goals and career pathways. Okay. We'll also help students achieve the prestigious congressional award and the PVSA with guidance from our experienced advisors. And to wrap things up, we also have unmatched college application strategies and essay coaching from experts who know how to make our students stand out from their peers. So with 27 offices in California, Georgia, Nevada, Texas, and Virginia, we've got you covered. So we invite you to contact your local Elite Prep office by going to this website, www.eliteprep.com/locations for a free consultation. And we look forward to meeting you. Okay. And so this concludes our presentation, and we look forward to working with you. Thanks for attending.